This color along will take place in the Wildflower adult coloring book by Christine Karron. My goal for this page is to change what looks like Red Riding Hood into Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Let's get started by sharing the items I plan to use for this page. Since the paper in this coloring book has nice quality, I do plan to use Derwent Inktense, Prismacolor Premier pencils, Ohuhu Glitter markers, blender pen, a white acrylic pen, and a black fineliner. At a glance, there are 5 sections. Let's break it down. The first section is the basket. The second area that I need to focus on is the portrait. The third is hair. I'll be using Judy Garland as my inspiration. The fourth section is her garment. And the fifth section is the background. For part 1, let's focus on the background. And I think it's usually because it's kind of a no-brainer, right? You kind of think about the different colors you want to use, and then you can go from there. And that does actually push me to do other areas, so that's the plan right now. I've been using a lot of sage with another type of green color. I might end up doing maybe a blue gradient blend into that, but we'll see how that goes. As for the geese in the background, I think I'm going to figure out how to change them as the winged monkeys in Wizard of Oz. So the head of the goose is here. And if I'm trying to make a monkey silhouette, like a flying monkey, I guess I'll add the body here. And there's the curled tail. But I am using what? I'm using espresso. I looked and I've got kind of sketched one of these monkeys here. So it's got a long legs. And the wings are usually up. So I just need to mainly figure out how am I gonna reverse this a little. They don't look like orangutans because the position. I think that's fine though. I'm not gonna worry. Oh goodness. As long as they're not geese, right? Maybe if I spike their faces a little, it looks like fuzzy little creatures. A little crazy. Oh, did I ruin it? It won't matter. I'm gonna make the backdrop dark enough for me to see them as silhouettes, because they're supposed to be silhouettes. It is the end of the month and I have got to finish this. This is my last page to finish on the challenge. Very happy that I did this challenge because I'm not like crazy, like, oh, I have to have Oz stuff. I think the thing that I love about Oz is that it's not just part of my childhood. I think my mom really liked it. But what I liked is that they came out with Dorothy Must Die novel years ago, and I remember finding it so fascinating because I think what I loved about that was Dorothy turned, right, and she was just not herself anymore. I'm fine with these. They could be ugly little monkeys. Now let's get the Inktense going. I'm going to do some tests on some nice quality paper to see how I want this blend with the gray and the green. I might end up doing 3 kind of colors here. Let's do some tests. Way too dark, but let's bring in this color. See how it does when I overlay it. And then of course we'll get in our turquoise color, see how that does. It might have to be, oh man, I don't know. I think that's going to end up being these 3 colors. Let me go get some water. If you're new to Inktense, usually you don't use a big brush like this. That's for one. but I'm gonna try it. I got a little paper towel. I always try to get the excess water off here. And then I brought my little bowl. So let's get a little bit of water on these and see how they do. Or is that, let me see. It's like that mustardy green that I dislike. Whoa, that is too much. I'm not sure this is gonna work out. I'm not really happy about these Inktense colors. Let's see what blue here and blue here. Let's see if my blue, what it does with this color. And we're gonna see what it does with, it might end up being a bright color. I'm trying to get like a muted tone. Oh, no, kinda, almost actually. That's almost a teal color. I could go for teal. Yeah, I'll do that. So what was that? That was this dark color called leaf green and sea blue. I could do that. I could do that. Okay, and then I want to add like a gray. I don't even have gray, do I? Deep indigo. I didn't try deep indigo. Deep indigo is a little too dark too. So I have to remember, I want her dress to stand out. Well, I'm going to say no to indigo. And then I want to do gray, so we're going to have to do black. Just have to do it really light. As I do it real dark. Nope, too dark. Nope, 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 nope. But I can kind of mush it out, right? So I'm trying to do these two colors. Let's do it one more time and make sure I'm doing it right before I put it on there. And I am going to have to get a different brush. There's no way I can use that brush on this tiny area. Let's do one more test, make sure I'm doing what I think. So we're going to say the top area is going to be the green. So it's going to be something like that. Okay, something like that. And then I'm going to do this just in case maybe I want it to be kind of harsh. Let's see what texture we want to. I'm going to do circles. Then we'll do some blue overlay and just circle across. And kind of blend it in with the other one. Yep, and then we're going to say harsh, harsh, harsh. Circles. Okay, and then as I get closer to her, I want this to be darker, and because usually when you have a scene, light is up on top, right? So I'm going to do darker down here, and this is black, right? Ink black. And I will be getting a different brush because it's not going to work out, I could tell. Blend, 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 blend. I need to figure out how not to make it harsh. Here, let's go like that. Gosh, it's so beautiful, huh? I like it. I think for the top one, I'm gonna make this around the edges. It's got like a goldish, antique gold vibe to it, and I like that. Okay, and the backdrop back here will be black, so that'll be a pretty nice depth, right? Which texture did I like? I think I like the hash marks or little scribbles. It'll be neat around the edges. I've got one of these. use this thing, I think, for some of the areas like the details. So this does allow you to put water in it. It's much stiffer. Yeah, I got two. I'll use this one, and this one. This color ended up being pretty nice. I think I like the texture it was doing, that direction. So we're just gonna go and not really worry about it too much. I'll go in all in the same direction though. I think I will be doing 2 layers, by the way, before I activate it, to make sure it's kind of rich and dark things. So right now we're doing layer 1, medium pressure. Doing the easiest part first. I don't have to think about it. I just kind of just do it. So I will fast forward this. I don't want to be too boring, but I'm just going all in one direction. And then I'll show you how I activate it. Okay, so I've done 3 layers. I'm gonna add a little pressure around this edge real quick, and we'll do this top firm. All right, I think it's time to activate. If you're new to Derwent Inktense, I think the main thing, especially if the paper's not high quality, this paper's really nice, so I'm not really too concerned, but anytime I've used watercolor pencils and even the Inktense, I try to be real gentle at how much water. I get a towel over here and I kind of brush off the excess water so it's not dripping on the page. You can get some really neat effects doing that, but I want Dorothy to be the focus. I'm gonna go ahead and put a sheet behind it. Make sure my rest of my coloring book's safe. Trying to be careful around the edges. This paper is just so incredible. Okay, I'm putting too much water. See how I didn't use the towel that time? And then it's going to cause the paper to buckle a lot. I have to be careful with that. I'm just going to do the same method, try to keep my strokes upward. Seems like whatever stroke you do, it just makes it look cleaner. So once again, I'm using my towel, get some of the excess off, that way it's not dripping. And this is pretty much the idea of watercolors. I did 3 layers and it still didn't come out black. It came out like the charcoal gray, and that I didn't mind. I knew that probably was going to be the case if I didn't go super dark, but still better than burnishing with a colored pencil in my opinion. All right, here's where it gets a little bit more difficult, trying to make sure that I don't cause a big mess on this outside. It's not completely dry, but let's show the before and after. Because her outfit is blue, I'm concerned she won't be the focal point, and I have a real struggle with that, where I'll get so excited about that background. You know what? I think I'm going to change gear. We're going to do a grayish background with the green. That way her dress does stand out. Okay, so I'll keep the author's name here. We'll go something like that. I'm doing light because I think that's what we did over here. It'll be kind of like that color, I think. Just a light edge gray. Okay, so that's done. I'm not going to activate it because I want to activate it with the others. So now I think I want to do with the green on top. So we're going to go with our layer of green because there is going to be silver or gold entwined in here. So we'll go ahead and just do it. I think I'll do 2 layers of this color. So I did lighter, kind of more separate around here, and then I did darker up here, and that was the plan, right, for this. I'm going to do just a little bit more because I want it to be noticeable. A transition. I am coloring over the monkeys because I don't really care what happens to them at this point. They're mainly for a silhouette. Alright, I'm feeling good about that. Let's get our blue on. This is the sea blue. I'm going to start right below some of the monkeys because I do want them to be concealed a little. So I'm going to do it like right across here. And it's just a very, see how far my hand is? So I'm not like down. I'm just doing it real gentle. This is kind of more of a light, like a light, gentle pressure. That way I'm not completely taking away the pigment of the other one. The other one's still prominent in color. And I am gonna add just a little bit of a halo blue around her thing because her hoodie might be blue. So I can kind of jump potential blue hoodie. Still very light pressure. So that looks good. I'm pretty happy with this. I've got to be careful with her hair. I think the real dark, rich chocolate hair, or chestnut even, will look really beautiful with this blue too. I'm gonna go down all the way, how about right around here for my transition into the gray. Still very light pressure because I'm gonna do a couple layers of this stuff. Okay, so there is a lot of jumping in between here. We're gonna go ahead and bring in a little bit more pigment around here. Let's get that black going so this blue gets more midnighty. So we'll put that transition around here. Let's see. So we're gonna bring back our little handy test sheet. This is the darker side, so we want to go, and this is the lighter. Always try to do your lighter colors and then your darker colors. It's like the thing that you do with watercolors. So I've got 3 types of brushes. We'll go ahead and start with the firm brush here. Start the top corner. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Let me zoom in. I'm going to do the edges real quick because that is a thing I'll want to do to see what it's looking like. And we are going to start from top to bottom because this is a pigment that's a little lighter. I am going to go over the monkeys because once again we are pretending that they are just silhouettes. They're not the focus, so I'm not gonna worry about my ugly monkeys. Now, something to be aware of. A lot of the time when you're dealing with stuff like this where you're activating a color and stuff, it never turns out the way you think. And the reality is it is a backdrop, so it shouldn't be the focal point, right? It shouldn't be a big deal, right? I'm hoping that right now it's just this transition of being kind of not great, and then by the time I get it all colored in, it's not as unorganized looking. Oh, I like the blue with the black. It's kind of a neat transition there. I need to add a little bit more of this green here though. Better. Very beautiful though. I really like this. Okay, that time I didn't use my paper towel, and so see how wet it is now? It's a little too liquidy for my happiness, but I'm able to just try to spread it around. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue. Wow, it's beautiful. I like this. I mean, how fast this was. Yeah, I think it's going to come along nicely. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let this dry for a few minutes. It seems to be drying really fast though. We're going to give it a chance to dry out a little because I got to color in the leaves. And I also have to do the border, so give it a chance. I'll be right back. I figured this border needs a little love, and I am using the Ohuhu Glitter markers in case you don't know if you've ever heard of these. But I have a feeling this isn't intended to use with something like Inktense. These are a lot like Posca, where it has the little pump, so it seems to be cleaning it when I do the pump. So right now, I'm feeling like I really think it added a little something. So let's go ahead and bring in some curls. Kind of has that Emerald City vibe to it by adding the green. Okay, let's go ahead and get the leaves colored. So my camera ended up dying. I'm gonna go ahead and share what I did with leaves on another page. So my light source is from the top. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start with Tuscan Red as a shadow around the bottom of the leaf. So the second layer around the bottom next to the Tuscan Red is going to be Crimson Lake. And don't worry, I know these are all very red tones. Goldenrod's going to kind of blend with this to make more of that orangey tint color, so don't worry. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of permanent red. And then when the leaves are just a little bit larger, I do a little bit of circles. You can do like little slashes in the direction of the leaves though. And if I like the way it looks, I go back in and burnish with goldenrod. And then at the top, I added yellow glitter marker just to add a little highlight to it. And then any of the leaves that looked a little larger, I went in and added highlights to each of the top of the leaves. So that's pretty much it. I did go back in on the top with Prismacolor moss green just to kind of blend in the lime peel from the Derwent Inktense. So I have used quite a lot of different mediums on this page, but I really like the way it's turning out. I think we're good for day one. In the next video, I'll take on Dorothy's hair, or go ahead and check the video description to find the link. Thanks for watching.